Welcome back to another edition of the Red and White Podcast. World's shortest intro. Spotify continues to battle me on this intro music.
It's still
So
rolling. You
yeah,
better cut it.
I know. But it's in the background. I'm talking over it. Maybe the algorithm won't pick it up. But we are back. Vaguely remember how to do this. Try to take a little break. As Will had asked me before we started recording, has NC State football finally broken you? And the answer is yes.
Took
I
took
do
two
not
weeks of
care.
me asking you to do it.
Yeah, he's been asking me for a while to do this, and it's really hard for me to get any level of care into the football program right now. I, it is what it is, man. I was watching the Miami game, and I should have been mad or upset or whatever. Just like, all right, whatever.
How far
My
did you
wife
make
looks at
it
me, she's
before
like,
you turned it off?
I watched it to the end. I mean, I
Really?
did.
Wow.
Yeah, I might have put a double box on with one of the other games at the time that was going on, but
Oh yeah,
I
YouTube
watched it.
TV was back, baby.
I've been
Oh
long off YouTube TV, but my wife asked me, and she said, she's, she said, you don't seem bothered by this game, and I was like, I really don't care anymore. Like, they have finally broken me, and it's funny though. I was listening to Cover Three the other day, and I don't know if any of y'all heard this, but they were talking about it was after Florida State had lost to who they just lose to. They won last week, but they lost the week before, and Bud Elliott was kind of talking in the background. He says, I may give up Nolecast. He does a Florida State podcast just until something else happens because I have no desire to keep having this conversation about Florida State. And I'm like, I'm listening to that, and I almost clipped it because I was like, that's exactly right. That's exactly how I feel about NC State. Until something changes, I feel like you and I are having the same conversation, and just yeah, it sucks. It's just I feel like I'm in football purgatory at the moment. I'm watching all these other schools do things, and here we are still doing the same thing, right? Mid program, probably going to end up 6-6 this year. Look good in some games, look terrible in some others. I mean,
yeah.
you mentioned it in our text. The Georgia Tech and my Miami games are just the epitome of this season, right? It's you look good against Georgia Tech, top 10 team. Like, this is where's that team been all year? And like somebody in the pod chat went through the scenarios for could NC State still make the ACC championship game, and I put it out on Twitter, and it was like the answer was yes. We needed a whole bunch of things to happen, and all of those things happened. Like the first 9 of them, as that were last week, they all happened except for State winning. Like State just had to win, and then you need a couple more things happen this week, and win again. And you were you were right there, but yep, nope, just absolutely laid an egg. Came out 3-0. Defense was actually playing okay in the Miami game. Bailey throws a pick six because he doesn't know how to read a defense, and that turned it up. You gave Miami a team that was ready to quit. Right? They're very much on the teeter totter of not being good enough to be in the playoff. Right? They would have if you would have jumped on them early, you had a chance, and we didn't. We gave them pick six. They were up 10-0, and they just freaking steamrolled us, and we just couldn't block them. The offensive line couldn't do anything. Bailey couldn't do anything because of that offensive line. Like it was a bad combination. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm over it, and I know I've been talking for 3 minutes here, but hey, Will, how are you doing?
I'm great. I'm great. I think you hit it with Miami, right? Is they're probably one loss away from what we were hoping where they would be checked out. Instead they were hungry, still think that they have a path in. What looks better than beating the brakes off of NC State, who just beat the number 8 team in the country? I'm sure they were hyper motivated, of course, after last year or the year before, whenever it was when they were up in Raleigh. That was the Armstrong game, right? So that was 2 years. Um, yeah, that could not have been worse. It wasn't unexpected to me. I had zero expectations going into that game. If we had recorded a podcast, I would have probably told you I expect to lose like 35 or 40 something to nothing. It wouldn't surprise me. Um, and I don't think we had a game plan, or I don't think we could have even come close to whatever game plan we had. but it certainly didn't seem like we had one that was going to be, hey, we're throwing everything at the wall here to try and win this game. It just honestly looked like we got there and we were checked out and just ready to go home. Hopefully they had a good time in Miami. I was texting you and saying after the Georgia Tech game, I was like, well, that's the inverse in outcomes to what happened in the Duke game, right? You start off fast, and instead of having the really bad turnover that just snowballs out of control, and it turns into a catch-up game at the end, instead you just kept it going the whole time, avoided the mistakes. Defense played decent enough, held them to a couple of field goals, and that's all you needed. And I think we said going into the season that you had to have games like that. Like, that's the way State has to play. And unfortunately, you get it in little clips here and there. UVA game, this game, right? And then you follow it up with turds with like VT, Miami, Pitt. It's just going to be what it is. I think once the injuries started piling up, I think I just kind of mentally checked out. I haven't like really cared too much. It hasn't really made, like, if we were going to hop on here after each game, like I was kind of like, well, what's the point of piling on and saying the same thing?
Yeah. Agreed.
It's like you said earlier, right? Let's say, sure, things set up for us to go and win these next two games. It's good that they're at home. We've played better when we're at home. But, okay, so we go get 7 wins. Like, are you looking forward to a bowl game? Like, are we going to lose the good players that we have? Are they going to sit out? Like, I don't know. Yeah, you're just kind of in this nether region of like, what's the point right now? I don't know.
Very much.
It's nice. Oh my God.
It sucks.
Just don't ask anyone about their birthday. That's what I took from the Miami game.
I mean, I'll give Dave credit. Maybe not credit. I will back him on his bitterness to that question.
It was wild.
Because it's so stupid. And this is just, this is the reason we started this podcast back in 2012 or whenever it was. I don't even remember. Dustin have to remind me. Was because of things like that. Like the podcasts at the time were terrible. And the media doesn't ask any questions, right? Why would you? I just don't understand that. And Dave,
it didn't even make sense.
They had just lost, and it didn't make sense. And he's just like, he handled it better than I would. I would have just said, "What the F are you talking about?" Like, somebody could have asked, "Hey, is Bailey struggling reading a cover 3 because that pick 6?" Right, throw the seams, up the numbers. There's a cover 3, clear cover 3, and he throws it to the outside, picks, guy is gone. Right, ask that question if you understand football at all, at the very basic level. And we just don't get any of that kind of stuff. Instead, we get jibber jabber about birthday and how you feeling and blah blah blah. I'm just like, I was 100% behind Dave. He could have gone off on that guy. I would have been like, yeah, he's right. He's in the right there. Like, that was just so stupid.
I think it's
dumb.
I think it's good that he was pissed. Like, I think salty ass Dave, like, if he'd gone down there and just taken the licks and got back on the plane, I think that would have been bad.
Yeah.
So I think he can turn it into something. It's just, his one superpower is always keeping these teams motivated. God, you say that, right? And then you go into that game and you clearly didn't look motivated. I don't know. That game just looked like we were like, it just looked like we were like, there's no way we're winning. That's the way it looked, right? Like, just from the get-go. Who knows?
Yeah. And I have been giving Dave credit for a while now that his teams don't quit. And they folded. Like, they folded in that game. I don't know if it was necessarily quitting or just being completely outmatched. But after the initial effort, first quarter was so strong. The defense was playing well. And again, the pick 6 just broke them and they just folded. I've never seen us just roll over like that.
Yeah. I mean, if Miami played like that all the time, right, they would be maybe one loss. I mean, their problem has really been Beck more than.
Well, I mean, it helps when you're playing the worst defense in the league. Like, make everybody look good.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Unless your name is Georgia Tech, who still rolled up like 500 yards on us. So it was wasn't like it was
Again,
like a
yeah,
staunch
worst
thing.
defense in the league. Haynes King had 400 yards throwing and 100 rushing, and we won that game.
Yeah, which is crazy, just absolutely
And
crazy.
I know the game plan that Miami game was basically we can't block Ruben Bain and the rest of those guys up front, so we're going to throw everything quick and short, and I get that, but it didn't work, and it wasn't working at all early, and you didn't try to do anything else the whole game. It was just that, and I don't know how much of that is on Bailey. And we were talking about this in the pod chat, and let me know if you agree, because I don't know if you were in that conversation. I don't put a whole lot of this on Roper. Like, I think Roper's offense has been mostly fine. Like,
Yeah.
I think the game plan was basically because they couldn't block him. But I haven't really had many issues with play calling. Like we've had some dumb with Anai and some dumb with Beck and some dumb with everybody else. But I just haven't had that problem with Roper. I just think CJ Bailey's been bad and the offensive line has been worse. Just
Yeah.
terrible.
Yeah, I think there's some like nitpicks you can have occasionally, but you'd have that with any OC. I mean, I think the
Sure.
biggest problem for him this year is he's had to deal with the defense on our side that gives up more explosives than we're gonna likely generate on our own, and to counter them out. And yeah, I don't think offense has really been the problem this year. You're gonna have some games that are rough. This game it just looked like. We made it look like we were playing like an Alabama or someone. Like, we just looked so second class out there. It's like not even worth talking about, really, to be honest. It's like,
No, and that's why I haven't wanted to.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do I expect a similar performance Friday? No. Do I think Florida State probably has an edge? Yeah. I don't know, but like we could easily beat Florida State. Like I don't think they're anywhere close to Miami.
Yeah, agreed. Florida State's a mess. I still don't know how they beat Alabama in week 1. It's just insane to me. But
I don't
yeah,
know.
I don't know. I like I said, I don't know what to get from this team. They have good, and they have terrible, and that's about what this team is. And it's exhausting talking about it. I mean, credit to Grayson and the Locked On Pod. They can do it every day. James at IPS for doing it every day. Like, not me. I don't have that in me. Like, it's just a level of BS that I don't have right now.
I hate
And
to say it, man. We got better things to do sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. Like, it's insane. And I mean, I want them to win. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just at this point where, Dave's on his high horse. Yeah, I'm not retiring, or why are you asking me about this? And which is very counter to what some people have been hearing. So I don't know what's going to happen. One of the questions asked me says, "I get the feeling we're going to get to experience year 14," or he says, "Do you get the feeling we're going to experience year 14 yet?" He'll get the 6 wins. Does that get him fired? Blah blah blah.
Well, I don't think you'll hear any announcement before the end of the season, and I don't
No.
think Dave deserves that either.
And there's no benefit to that, honestly. There's no benefit to it.
My whole thing with Dave is if you could just put together an actionable plan, I don't feel like I'd be upset with him being here for a long time, even longer. But it's like been the inconsistency of the teams he's built, especially the ones that everyone has expected to be competitive in the title, have just seemingly had bizarre talent misses, across them. And so my fear is if the answer is we need more money in order to build a competitive roster, I don't know how he's going to inspire that. If that could just come from the school with house funding, then yeah, like he's a great motivator. Program's relatively clean. If they could just put, they're probably like 4 or 5 players on defense away from having a good team this year.
Literally, you could have an offensive line this year, and you have enough talent to make up for how bad the defense is, like everywhere else. But the offensive line can't block anyway, which is amazing that Smothers is putting up the numbers he has been putting up before he got hurt because there's no blocking. Like the offensive line is terrible.
Well, he's got to run really fast because he's got nowhere. He's got no one protecting
Yeah.
him. Yeah, it's just inconsistent, right? Like they clearly have to be doing something good in order to enable him to succeed. But then I don't know. It's really hard to square that somehow Georgia Tech has like the offensive line and run game that I feel like Dave always wanted to have. Like I don't understand how we can't
Yeah.
put it together. And I'm with you. I think we've talked about this before. Like I feel like I would put all my money into the lines before I spend it elsewhere.
Yeah.
Right? You really only need
Yeah.
one or two. Like, do you really need a super dynamic tight end and a bunch of wide receivers and running back and quarterback? Like I don't know what we pay Jolie. I don't know if Jolie really brings anything. Like as much as everyone likes to make a big deal about him, we don't have him for one game. The tight ends put out great production. Like, I don't know. I would rethink how we did things.
Look at what Texas Tech is doing. All right. I mean, I know it's oil money and it's a different level, but where they built from the inside out. Their defense is just a nightmare for people. And, Baron Morton is not a world-beating quarterback, and they just keep winning. They're just good. And they're just a really good team. And it starts from the inside out. And that's what, Dave needs more money. Dave hasn't shown me the ability that he's going to put together two competent lines at the same time, which is, again, to your point, insane that he's always talking about how tough we are. And this is, he wants to be a run first team and whatever. And just, I don't know. I'm very much over it.
The hard thing to understand is that somehow we've consistently gotten really good tackles, all things considered. Like
it's the interior. It's really bad.
Which I would have thought the interior would probably be easier. Like the body types, like it's less restrictive from a size perspective, right? So you'd think the talent pool would be wider, and yet we've just missed. And it's also the things too. It's like, if you really want to be a gap scheme team or whatever, like it just didn't seem like we had recruited the linemen that line up to that too. And that's another thing where it's like you just got to do what you're good at. Same thing goes with we had such good defenses under Gibson for that time period, right? How did you not build a backlog of talent behind those guys? Like the linebackers just went from like 3 amazing linebackers to 0. Like it's hard to understand how we miss these things. So that's where I would just say I wish if Dave could kind of put together some kind of blueprint that says this is how we're going to fix this and this is the money we need and we need it from the university through the house or whatever. Like I think people would be on board because I'm really happy with a majority of the skill players that we've got on the payroll. I think Bailey in his 3rd year is probably better than in his 2nd year. And for the most part, he's had Duke and that Miami pick 6, but I mean, for the most part, I think he's been really good, all things considered. He hasn't been the limiter. It's just
I wouldn't say really good. I think he's had some good games, but he stunk in the Virginia Tech game. He's had some stinkers where he
I forgot about that one.
He shouldn't have.
The Notre Dame game. Yeah.
Notre Dame game.
Just really inconsistent.
Yeah, and I get that for a 2nd-year starter, right? So I'm not bagging on him.
Yeah.
But he just hasn't been. I just don't know if the fundamentals are there. Like I still think his ability to read defense is suspect, and I think that shows.
Yeah, especially when he's under pressure.
Why they struggle against any defenses? Yeah, especially under pressure. Yeah.
Like I told my wife before we turned it on, I said, "Man, we struggled with Notre Dame's defense. This is going to be way worse." So we've got to have like an insane defensive performance. So I was with you when I saw it was 3-0. I said, "Oh, maybe we got a chance." And then, God, I think I turned it off like 5 minutes into the 3rd quarter. I just couldn't take it.
Yeah, most people did. Definitely, there was other things going on, other better games happening.
There was basketball, baby.
Yeah, and we'll get to basketball at some point. But you listen to Will Wade talk about the analytics side of it, and then you listen to Dave talk, and he's it's just like definitely a disparity in understanding of today's game for the relative sports. Like I don't feel like Dave has kept up with it. Right? There's still the 31 points thing. Right? It's just like, maybe he hadn't brought that up in a while, but he still did this year several times, and you're like, that's not how today's football is being played. Like, it's just such a disconnect there that, yeah, I'm supremely over at this point.
I think Dave Haight
Who knows?
listens to us, and because he didn't have a pod last week from us, he didn't know what to say during the presser. And thank God he got that birthday question.
I mean, I still can't believe they asked a birthday question. Just like so stupid. Just ask something about football.
The fact that he brought it up multiple times, that's what makes it so hard to believe, especially when you read it in a transcript and you're like, what kind of word salad was this?
Yeah, it's not hard to ask football-based questions. Even if you don't know that much about football, one, you can learn. There's plenty of YouTube videos out there that'll explain defensive concepts to you or offensive concepts. If you're covering it as your job, you should probably understand some of them. But at the same time, just ask, Bailey threw a pick six there. Why, it seems like he struggled this game. What did you see from him? Right? Basic questions, but talk about the freaking game.
Yeah.
Right? It's just, I'm just as disgruntled with our media coverage as I am the football program.
Well, that was definitely a random Miami beat writer, right? That was
it?
Yes, that was not a state person.
I think
someone
thought it was that the
it wasn't.
no girl.
It was not. No. Okay. This was a guy, and yeah, someone confirmed it was definitely a Miami person, not a. It might have been someone that doesn't cover it. Like someone said, it was someone like sometimes gets brought in, kind of like a sub contractor to kind of fill in for somebody.
Why would the Miami person get the first question to Dave Dorn?
Because you lost. You lose that bad. You have to talk to a Miami person.
Where are you at, IPS? Pack Pride, aren't y'all covering these games?
He should have just popped off and been like, you know what? When's the last time Miami won a championship? All right, move in. That's my birthday present.
Right? Yeah, anything. But who knows what happens at Florida State? They stink too, but they have the ability to show up some games. Friday night in Carter Finley, I feel pretty good about. But again, who knows what this team's going to show up? I don't know.
They're favored.
Watch it. Yeah, they're favored by 6.
I've got 3. I got 3.5 on ESPN
open
right
somewhere
now.
in that range. Yeah, okay.
Or sorry, no, it's at 4.5 now. Yeah, right. It opened.
Yeah, okay. Somewhere in there. Yeah, who knows? I don't know. I don't think they're any good, but I don't know what to expect from us either.
To quote a song I used to like, who knows? Who cares?
Yeah.
It's just
it's tough, man. Like I again feel like football purgatory, and then I see Virginia Tech hiring James Franklin.
What a nut punch!
And him coming out there and just coming out swinging. He is just throwing it around like he does. And the league's gonna get better. And what are we doing, right? And I don't know. Dave is not going to inspire more funding, right? People are just saying, hey, you need more money. It's like, sure. Who's going to donate to Dave? And it's not anything necessarily because of Dave. It's supposed, what he's giving you, right? If we give Dave $20 million to spend on a roster, does it get better? I don't know. And I can't confidently, I would assume so, but I can't confidently say yes. And I think that's a problem. But I don't know where you're going to get that money if people just don't believe in it. Just everybody has checked out.
But you know what? Like, this is my thing. If UVA can just go and buy a line one year, right?
Yes.
Like, it's not like that. They were horrific. Apparently, money can just overcome whatever that problem was on the recruiting side. So, it's not impossible, but someone's got to cut the check, or the university. I don't know. I still don't quite understand how the house settlement and all that crap was going to really work, but. In the end, I don't know what UVA is spending, for example. So, here's my thing, right? Everyone's going to start spending money, which is just going to artificially drive up prices. So, it's really going to be important to be able to evaluate and, allocate that money correctly. Zeke, it seems like when we've done transfers on the offensive line, Zeke Correll was really good. Zavala. Like it's like we know what we're doing when we're trying to find these guys. Selfo, like it's happened. So you just gotta apply that. And I don't know if they thought that they had enough homegrown stuff this year, and then they woke up and saw what they had. But like, just tell me you're gonna come out and do that, or be like, hey, it's not working out with 2J. I gotta, we gotta go a different direction. Like,
Dave
if
hangs on to his freaking coordinators too long, especially the offensive line guys. I mean, yeah.
but if you say if he
Garrison.
says it's not the coaching, it's the talent, then how are you gonna fix the talent?
Yeah,
That's just
get
the
better
question. If I
talent.
was Boo, right? What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Like, we're lucky people are still buying tickets and coming to the games, but at some point, especially, I who knows? I mean, something's got to change. What's going to change? If he wants to be here and if he wants to pipe off and say that he's gonna, he's got 4 years or 5 years left on his deal, blah 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 blah, then show me how you're gonna spend those years effectively for us. Um, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how much of that is negotiations or real.
I don't know, man. You're rich as shit already. Like, how much more do you need? I don't know.
Correct. Yeah, I don't know.
I got a number in
But I
mind
just
for myself where I know I can just check out mentally, and it's far less than what Dave Doran has earned in career earnings. So there's a part of me that people are like, "Oh, who's going to step away from blah blah blah?" It's like, man, at some point, this stress ain't worth it, But
No. Right.
if he's going to be motivated and fired up like he was after that game, then yeah, stick around, man. But you got to bring that the whole time,
Yeah. Really hoping that Kansas comes to fruition, right? There was the Kansas uh, team blog that, or somebody who covers Kansas put out a post about how they wanted Dave Doran because he would bring stability and blah, blah, blah.
I'm so
By
checked
all
out.
means,
What happened
okay.
to Leopold? Wasn't he like fun offense?
Leipold, they're not doing great, but they're not
No.
awful. I don't know. I'd even swap right now. Give me Lance. Let's go. I don't care.
Well, so okay, that's a great point, right? So I feel like Dave Doran, if on like a football coaching standpoint, is like far better than Kevin Keats, right? But just look at like
Yes.
the excitement on the basketball side of the house since we've made a change. Like sometimes you do just need a change, and it's funny. Like if it's how you win the 8 or 9 games that I think translates into how you feel about things, right? When you're grinding it out, it's a different vibe than if you're winning and then it's a couple shootouts that go the wrong way.
Right.
I think there's different ways you can skin a cat and get similar results here, and so it's like, why not take a chance?
I mean, you mentioned it earlier. UVA brought in an offensive line. They brought in a mid-tier. Sorry, read the question. Mid-tier quarterback from
Yeah.
a G5 school. Like,
And their defense
look what's-
sucks.
Yeah, look. Yeah, somehow. Yeah, I don't know.
And they beat
But
Duke,
look what
by
they're
the
doing.
way.
Yeah, and they manhandled Duke, right? And somehow State's going to end the year with 4 ranked wins at this current pace, which is mind-boggling. But yeah, I don't know, man.
I mean, we're like,
It's not a hard formula at this point.
no,
It's
you're
the blueprints are out there.
yeah, you're probably
But
10. You're
what I
like
think's gonna
10 players
happen-
away. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't. He knows that many. But what I think is going to happen. Somebody was talking about this in the pod chat today, and it was like Virginia Tech's bringing in Franklin. They're going to dump a whole bunch of money, and somebody said, well, they're trying to follow Texas Tech. And I'm like, that's all great, and I hope they do, because all that is doing is it's going to level the playing field. Because where you're pulling those Texas Tech level players from, it's not Texas Tech, it's from above, right? You're paying the Georgia backups, right?
Yeah.
Now they're coming here, right? And it's spreading that talent out, and I think that's good for the sport, but at the same time, like it's going to run up the prices, right? You're going to run up the prices on your top tier interior linemen, and I don't think we need to compete in that level. I think you need to get buy some old offensive linemen from any level that can play, right? High production guys. Let's get those guys in here who can do it, and then backfill with some high school recruiting. Like people are starting to. It's funny watching them figure it out, right? It was going from, hey, we're gonna go portal heavy, and then we're gonna keep our guys, and now they're gonna like Now we're going to go high school heavy and backfill at the portal, and based on your budget. But I don't know what we are trying to do. Right? We need wide receivers. That's great. We brought in a whole bunch of them, and neglected everything else. And just like, why can't you figure out some kind of balance?
Yeah, very
Frustrating.
inconsistent in the way they're building things. Like, for me, I've always thought, get high school offensive linemen and then go pilfer, just offer money to the second and third stringers in the Big Ten, those corn-fed giants out there. Do you want to come and start here for a year or two, get paid, and if you're so good, if you do great, I'm sure Wisconsin or Ohio State or whomever is going to come and offer you a shit ton of money, and you can go back, right? Come here and actually play football instead of sitting on the bench. I'm shocked that's not what we're doing. It doesn't seem like we ever kind of kick those tires in that way. But that's what I would do. I mean, especially like I was saying earlier, the interior lineman, you think you could find at many different levels. Like Zavala is a great example of that, right? Like he was a freak and he shouldn't have been at Fairmount or wherever, Fairview or wherever he was. But you tell me that there's not guys that like are at the G5, the app level that are available, or older guys who are, like I said, were sitting on the bench somewhere that you can pull down and be like, you want to play? Like, it shouldn't be this hard to fill these out. Defensive line, I sense could be harder, but I don't know. It just, something seems off with how the money was allocated, or maybe they just didn't have enough and they said, F it, let's just get wide receivers and Bailey. Like it.
Then use them.
Well, that's the other thing.
All over the place.
I just,
So Red in the pod chat asked, how does VT hiring Franklin affect the way you think about our program? Does it make you say it is what it is, or do you feel like sense of despair or hopelessness?
Well, thank God I grew up in a VT household. Like it's like the perfect world for me right now. UVA is good at football, so that's what my wife brought me. VT just made a great hire, so I've got that to look forward to. So I don't know. Do I think it really changes anything in our context? No, because our job isn't open. Like,
what I think it does is the league is getting better, right? I mean, Virginia Tech needs to be the Virginia Tech the ACC brought in and expected them to be, right? I don't know how far they'll go, but Franklin's going to make them instantly better than where they are now, and the league needs that. The league needs more real coaches. They need more brands being strong football brands.
What's he getting paid there?
Changes. I don't know, but I don't think it changes my perspective, so to speak. Like I still think we need to do something so that we are not. So we're just keeping up. Right now, if we're just maintaining, you're maintaining your 6-6. What is it doing for you? Yeah, I don't know. I'm all over the place with it. I don't know. I think Virginia Tech made a good hire. So
it's like I would love for us to counter, and if Dave decided to walk away, go get Mullen, right? Like the pitch I have said for years, it's easier to win in the ACC.
Yeah.
You can last a lot longer here because if you're even semi-competent, most of these programs are keeping you around for a very long time. And if you can start gathering these groups of coaches, right, you do help restore the brand of the ACC, right? Which is, it's not just a bunch of joke programs. Like, no, they got serious coaches and they give, alluring type contracts, and the ACC. Nothing helps the pitch better than look how bad Clemson and Florida State are right now, right? Like this, you got Virginia, Virginia, what was it? Virginia, Duke, Georgia Tech, and Louisville were the top four, or SMU, right? Like, I would be pitching these guys and being like, the conference is easier. You have a chance to win here. If you're at Penn State, you're probably never going to win, right? Especially now with, adding USC, Oregon, etc. Right? You can do the same thing for SEC coaches. Hey, Dan, what a waste of time that was at Mississippi State and Florida. Come over here. It's easier, man. It's less stressful. You got Dave Doran to coach against.
If we miss on Mullen, I'll be very disappointed.
What's so funny?
You missed your opportunity. If we missed on, I'll be very disappointed.
I told you Mullen like a year ago, and you were like, nah, can't build a roster. I can't remember what you said. And I was like, he makes whatever they call it, potato salad out of shit. Okay, he can give you a great offense. I saw Calandria's numbers the other day, and I was just laughing. Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
give me Calandria and Mullen right now.
oh my God, I
Yeah.
would love that. Would be great. Um, I
And
don't know.
you're in that conversation. You're in that conversation with the Virginia Tech who just hired Franklin. Like that's what they need to do.
I mean, I'm sure DeBoer is going to get fired. Like, Kalen DeBoer
So
would be a great hire.
what I would in a heartbeat. I
You
take
would-
Kalen DeBoer.
I would have to like give you like heart meds from here if it if that happened.
Me and Chance will be all over it. We've been on the DeBoer train for a long time.
Does Kalen
but,
DeBoer like Brazil?
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna get to that one. Trust me. Bob Chesney at JMU is now being thrown around with every job out there. Penn State, UCLA. You're
Yeah.
like, holy cow! Like you're gonna miss on that guy too. But I'd take Mullen and be in that conversation. Like that should not be a hard sell to get him. But
Yeah, I think he would blend in well here.
oh, he'd fit in great here. He's got a little bit of the Will Wade
Yeah.
scruffiness, right? And the willingness to talk that trash, so to speak. And I think people would just love him. I've seen this question a lot, right? I got it from text messages, but also somebody in the pod chat put it in. Can we talk about the amount of injuries that seem to pile up every year? And Will, you and I have this conversation a lot.
Yeah.
Whether it's in season or still happening, is it time to take a deep dive and evaluation of the strength and conditioning program? I know every team deals with it, but after gotten out of control, also when you don't have competitive depth, it just makes it worse. I go back and forth on this one, so I don't know if you agree, but if it's me, you look at the types of injuries, and so I would go back over the years and look at the types of injuries we've had, and are they freak injuries or are they, somewhat related to conditioning? I think you can figure that out because there's some that are just going to happen, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's how you have to look at it. You can't just say, "Hey, we have more injuries here," because some of the stuff just happens, right? I mean, you're not going to prevent a guy from popping his Achilles. It just happens. I don't know how much, it's better than Tom O'Brien's yoga years when they were doing stuff like that. You came out and like, why do we look so small compared to like Carolina, just juiced up on roids.
Can touch our toes.
Yeah, but we're flexible. Yeah, we can bend. But anyway, like I certainly would. I think when you're mid, you need to evaluate everything you can. I know Thunder's important to the program, and they try to keep him for a long time, and I appreciate that. But I think there's also some level of, hey, let's bring somebody else in to maybe consult with Thunder, and they can evaluate, hey, is this working? Do we need to change something? And I'm sure they do. It's just not something that people are talking about a lot, but yeah, I don't know.
I want to say they asked Dave about it last year, and I think he said it was just the injuries were happening in random ways. They weren't the same type of injury. They weren't the same position. They were happening in game or in practice or whatever. And, I've always speculated, is it just possible that because you have this whole, find the hidden gem, you're going to build these guys up from skin and bones up to these massive muscles, right? I've always wondered if it's just you've hit the tipping point of where it's just too much stress on the joints for these kids. But you're seeing I feel like in the NFL, I've seen more broken ankles than I remember seeing in the past this year, right? Like I think it could just be a matter of, and I don't know if we're experiencing any rate that's different than others, right? It could just be, it is what it is. You're also playing younger guys at certain positions, and so it's not shocking that they're inexperienced, they get injured, the younger guy behind them gets injured. Like it can snowball. So I think I'm sure that Thunder and them evaluate it each year. I remember we used to blame it was the Adidas shoes, right? Like because of
well, that happened in basketball. Those damn foot breakers broke everybody's foot that year.
But even in football, right? Everyone was like, if we just had Nikes, this wouldn't be happening, or Under Armour or whomever, right? which I don't think is the case. But yeah, it's just annoying, man. I mean, it's great that it's not the quarterback this year, but it seems like all that injury bad luck has then just shifted to another part. And I think it's just more obvious because like the talent is just way
Everybody's
thinner, especially on
bigger,
defense.
faster, stronger, right? I mean, it's just what it is these days. I would ask, how can we cheat better? Like, can we get better roids or something? Like, what can we do to?
Look, man, I've been watching Physical 100 and
guys.
Physical Asia on Netflix. Highly recommend for anyone watching this. But if this competition series, as it goes on, you see these guys have more and more injury tape on by the end of the competition. And I was like, man, if that's what it's like for that, I mean, I'm sure football's the same way. Like, you're probably just constantly building injury after injury after injury. I don't know. Yeah, just buy better players, I guess, is the answer. We just need more Contavious Streets. Just absolute freaks.
Yes.
Oh my god, what I would give back for that defense. How good we had it. We didn't even know.
Oh, for real. How about we briefly mentioned it, and I think somebody asked a question about it, but NC State is playing a football game in Brazil next year.
Nice.
How do you feel about that?
My wife said, "Are we going?" So I don't know.
Not with a 1-year-old or not.
Oh, why not? She can learn Spanish or Portuguese while we're down there.
Portuguese,
Look, I've watched Love Is Blind Brazil for like 3 seasons. I got an idea of how the culture works. We'll be fine. Actually, she and I were debating it because I said, hey, a lot of people really like the Ireland idea. This is like the polar opposite of it. And, but I kind of like it. I like we were planning on going to Europe in the spring. And so I'm just not sure if we can do 2 international trips. I think it'll be really fun. I think the fans are just going to have no idea what's going on. They won't know that it's really shitty football. And I think someone said the Vuvuzelas in the band section will be amazing.
Yeah. How much money did Brazil have to pay the ACC to get 2 teams there?
You know what? If it goes all to our pocket and UVA's pocket, then win-win. I don't care. I'll go down there every year.
I get it. I also get the side of it where people are pissed because it takes away a game that they can't get to see in person, right? I mean,
yeah, but I mean, how many of you guys were going to UVA? I went there a couple years ago. You guys weren't all there,
I did. I went too.
No, I know, but you know what I'm saying? Like, well, geez, shame on us. I can't believe we didn't even see each other at it. Jeez. Yeah. Oh wait, did we? No, I remember seeing Chance. I don't remember seeing you.
No, we're in the same game.
But it's kind of. I think you had said like, oh, you could do this in. God, what were the places you mentioned? Like the Caribbean. I don't know. I think this will be fun. Didn't they just do an NFL game? I thought someone said that they had. So
like, put it at the Bahamas Bowl. They've had the Bahamas game for a while. Like, do that. I would have been in for that.
Have you ever seen like the live blogs from that game where they're like, oh yeah, I just like walked straight in off the street. I was on the sideline.
It's great. It was very random. We had heard about it for a little while now.
Can you explain? But why is everyone like, oh, if this was in Ireland, that'd be great. But Brazil, no way. It's like same flight distance. One's warmer.
Yeah, people don't understand how close South America is. Somebody was like, it's 18 hours. Like, it ain't 18 hours. I've made that trip plenty of times.
Yeah, you looked at the wrong connections.
Yeah. It's closer.
Just man, if it was that far, all those drugs wouldn't be getting run up here, my friend.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just don't take a boat down there right now. I'm actually curious. Did anyone ask Dave about it? It's so crazy. Be like, Dave.
I hope so. I haven't heard him talk about it. I'd love to see his reaction when they told him, Dave, you're going to Brazil.
What? He'd probably be like, fuck you, I'm retiring.
Yeah, maybe that's what the long con. Maybe the booze long con.
He's like, yeah, we're just gonna drive you through that favela real quick and just see if I don't know.
Yeah.
Someone had a great point. It's like, do the kids have passports? Like,
if you're going to Brazil, you need a visa, so be prepared to do that well ahead of time.
Yeah, I can just imagine those football players are gonna have a blast the night before in Rio. Like
Oh
we may not even have a full
God,
squad.
yeah, they're gonna follow some
Bring the bailout money.
big butt thongs into favela, and we'll never see some of those guys again.
Yeah, I bet the girlfriends are not happy about that trip.
Yeah. Anyway, interesting nonetheless. I don't know. Have you watched any basketball yet?
Oh, yes, I have. It's I feel like it could not be a different basketball experience.
Now,
I
we
know
got a
we've.
question from who's this guy? Matt Coe?
Oh
Who's this
God,
guy? Who's this
not
guy? I'm gonna put us on the screen again. Who?
the MC himself.
Yeah, for the first time in a long time, stays a legit ranked team. Are we just expecting to compete against Kansas? Or are we expecting to win? We're expecting to win.
Yeah, man.
Like it's a different. It's so nice watching basketball now, and not feeling like the rage of why the hell did you do that, or what are you doing, or why did you call that timeout. Like he just like I have complete trust that he knows exactly what he's doing, and that
Yeah.
staff knows what they are doing, and so I can watch the game and enjoy it a little bit more rather than my brain melting with rage because of the dumb stuff. Yeah, I don't know. It just feels so different, and I can't wait for the next basketball game for the
Yeah.
first time in a long time.
Talent level is definitely better. It feels
Yes.
like just the overall size of the team is very evident. Yeah, just I don't know what it is. Offense looks just. I mean, everything just seems to be flowing better. It's I love the energy. I knew that Copeland. I knew when I saw him destroy us for Syracuse. I remember I said that night. I said, God, why can't we have a guy like that? And I love what he brings to the
Yeah.
team.
Now we have a few of them.
Yeah, it's so bizarre though. Just like when you click in and you're like, who are all these guys? Like it's so many new faces. It's actually bizarre how well they play together, considering that. Yeah, I mean we'll see. I loved what Wade said in the presser. He was like talking about how like they built the schedule and they were like, the next team is gonna be a little bit better, next team's gonna be a little better. He's like, actually, like there's a lot of thought that went into how this schedule was put together, and you can see it kind of coming together. I loved how he said like they kept asking him about why they scheduled VCU, and he's like, they're 2 hours away and it's a quad 1 or a quad 2 game. Like, why wouldn't you play these guys? Like, he was like, of course it was obvious we would play them. I can't believe you are even asking me
Yeah.
this type of question.
And that's the type of team that we needed, right? The first few games, you're putting 100 plus on, Scrub Central and everybody else, and just and what is what I was saying in bot chat. Everybody's like, I just feel like you need to get punched in the gut and see how they react. And they got punched in the gut by VCU, and they came out and battled in that game, and they held on. Like they needed that. And you won a game where you had McNeil put up an offer, but he was productive everywhere else. Got rebounds and steals and
Yeah.
defense, and just watching this team play. Offensively, they do a lot of the same things that Keats' squads. They do it better, and they have better talent doing it. So it's like a better combination there. But they're relentless defensively. Right? They're all over the place all the time. You very very rarely have seen anybody take a play off. And he's still obviously figuring out his rotations. I think you're getting a lot from Musa Sanye. Like I think he's been really good. I am concerned about playing some of these bigger teams, but NC State is shooting lights out. Is that gonna sustain? If it does, I mean they can run with anybody. And somebody asked us, what record would you be happy with or disappointed with from now until the end of Christmas when non-conference play and the end of non-conference play? And there's a lot of winnable games. I'd say 13-3. I mean, Seton Hall, USC, or Boise State to be determined. Maui, at Auburn, UNC Asheville, Liberty, Kansas, Texas Southern, Ole Miss. I mean, you got some tough games in there, but I like to see us sneak one of the Kansas or Auburn games. Likely Kansas at home.
Is it
Ole Miss in
sneaking when you're
Greensboro.
top 25 and they're top 25?
I don't know who's going to be favored. So, I mean, I'd say sneaking because we wouldn't historically be expected to win that game, right?
I I love this comment from him. There was a question that said on his concern for technical fouls, and he said zero. He said, "We've had a conversation, but some of that's just luck. I'm not worried about that. You've got to play with an edge. I'd rather tell them whoa than go. We'll back them up a little bit. I mean, Darian made a three tonight. Whatever. I'm not worried about that. I mean, that's the thing is I feel like I wish I could go back in time and look at like what oh God, what's his name? UVA coach Tony
Bennett.
Bennett, right? The amount of crap that team got away with over time
Yeah.
on defense, right? And I feel like I assume he's doing the same thing here, where he's just setting this aggressive tone, and hopefully by the end of the year, they're just like, well, that's just how State plays defense. Those are the tendencies. We got to play around them. Got to let it happen. So, I mean, I love the way that they've come out. I thought it was really great, just at the end of the game, how they were just switching in and out of defenses and into the 1-3-1 zone, and it just looked like a really well coached team. Like,
Yeah. It's so
they
nice.
make mistakes
so
with
enjoyable.
turnovers and stuff, but they're not dead because of it.
Right. It's going to happen. Right? They're going to have an off night shooting one of these nights. And they kind of did a couple times, but they still are able to rally. Darian Williams makes it look easy. He's just crazy under control.
Yeah.
Somebody asked over under 12.5 techs this year. I think we're at 4 right now.
Or 3 or 4 already.
I'd say over. The trigger on the wasn't VCU, it was the game before that. That was the world's quickest tech.
The one he
And
got,
even
right?
Wade was like, yeah, the one Wade got. He was like, what? And Trey Holloman getting ejected for the quote slap, and the ACC came out on a statement and said he slapped somebody. You watch the video and you're like,
Where is it?
what? He didn't do anything. He didn't slap anybody. If anything, who didn't even forget they were playing?
They're so bad, no one cares. It was UAB, I think.
UNCG, I think.
Or was it
They
them?
played Greensboro.
Oh,
I
my
think they played
God.
UNCG. What on UNC? Yeah, it was UNCG Greensboro. That coach should have gotten a technical. He was all up in the mix. I'm like, how'd that guy not get teed up and you booted Holloman? Like none of that didn't make any sense.
Yeah, the refs this year, man. I'm sure we say it too much, man, but these guys are soft. I am shocked with like the way they're calling games against us so far. I hope we just keep doing it. We got enough of a bench to absorb it.
Yes, Pat, we're finally back. Basketball has a pulse. It's very exciting. I'm going through some of these questions. For the first time in a long time, State is a legit ranked team. Or just expecting to compete. Oh, we already asked that one. Her thoughts on basketball teams under Wade versus Keats? Like it's a no.
Hold on,
sorry,
it's
Matt.
James Aura. You got to say this for the Gen Zers out there that are listening.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer, man. It's just completely different. It's everything about it, and I love when Wade comes out and just dropping analytical quotes, and he knows every little detail that's happening, and it's such a departure from where we've been before. It's amazing. How crazy. I don't even know like how to describe it. It's just different, and I'm really enjoying it right now.
Yeah.
I was trying to find the quote the other day that somebody sent me. They were just like, "This is." When do they talk like that? It was. No, it's the whole athletic. The athletic article is pretty good.
Which athletic article?
There's a whole athletic article about Will Wade.
Oh man, I canceled my athletic subscription, so gotta save those $2 a
yeah.
month.
Hold on, I'm trying to find this thing.
This is what the people listen for the scrolling.
Yeah, sorry. This is how much we have prepared.
God, listen to that wheel. That wheel is getting abused over
Scrolling,
there.
boy. Oh, it's the one after the UNCG game. He said NC State head coach Will Wade post game is absolutely impossible statistically to outscore someone by 30 plus points in the paint like we did tonight, but have almost 20 less foul shots. It's actually impossible. Find a game like that in the past 10 years, and everybody's asking Grok and everybody else like, "Is this true?" And it's like it's 100% true.
Is this
He
true?
knows these things.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Kevin Keats dropping something like that? No. I don't understand.
Yeah, he said something in the last post game where he was like, they were talking about just playing against that guy. Oh, where's his little quote? And I was like, man, this guy's such a nerd. He said, "We didn't make 9+3s. Phil Martelli's teams have never won when the opponent makes 9+3s, outshoots them, and out rebounds, and we only got one of those three. So you're living very dangerously when you can't get two or three of those things." Like the fact that he's just thinking about things like that is great. I'm sure Keith's thought about stuff like that too, but it's just it's just a different mindset. You can feel like there's just a different. People were saying about like just the first game back, like little things around the arena, like it's just. There's more thought being put into the program right now.
They brought the noise meter back, like little things. They brought the retro unis back. Like
those are sharp, man.
It for once feels like you're listening to your fans.
Yeah,
right.
They should wear those unis again.
They will. I think they will. I think people absolutely love them. Yeah. Some Mac asks, "Is Will Wade our Dan Hurley in a sport that needs some characters? It feels like we have one." I think that's a very good comp, honestly. Yeah. Like he's maybe not as psycho as Dan Hurley, but he's not far behind. But he's definitely a character.
Is he the fire to Dave Doran's ice?
No.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like a perfect combination of attitudes.
Maybe.
Right? Can you survive with both your football coach and your basketball coach being psychopaths? Probably not.
I don't know.
You think Dave Doran's setting the temperature in their hotel rooms to 68 degrees because it's the optimal for sleeping?
Hell no.
He just opens a window. He doesn't even use AC. That's how Dave is.
Hypothetical question here, but with the hype of the team, Wade, can Darian's legacy succeed TJ Warren's, or are we watching the best NC State basketball player this century? Ooh.
That's I need a full season of Darian before I can say that.
I would say no. Freak. I think. I was gonna say TJ Warren's legacy is unrivaled. I think, and it's probably it helps that he was here more than 1 year, right? I think that's a little bit different.
True.
Darian Williams is early on. I was like, man, I don't see it in him, and then all of a sudden you're like, okay, he's got 16 and 9 in the first 8 minutes. You're like, okay, like he just makes it look easy. He's kind of going through it, and he turns it on and turns it up when he needs to. He kind of has a little bit of a gear shift in him, but he always seems under control. And I think that's what this team needs, because you have a lot of guys that are, I won't say out of control, but are playing wide open.
Yeah.
You have Holloman and Copeland and these guys that are just going. And you got another guy who's just like, all right, when you need a bucket, get a Darian, right? He can do everything, and that's really good. I'd like to see a little bit more from this team on the glass.
Yeah.
I think we've not been the best rebounding, but I think that'll come. And, as Saunier and Lubin get a little bit more acclimated to their playing time and their rotations, I think you'll see a little bit more out of them in that regards. But I think that might be the one area where I would.
Yeah, rebounding and just a little bit more thoughtfulness with the ball, like just awareness in general. But like you said, it's probably partly a trade-off when you're just like literally going balls to the wall constantly. I just love the energy of this team so far. Like it feels like they've been a team for a long time. They all seem to be very hungry. This seems like a team that understands it's trying to go do something special. I love.
It feels like a real program for once, man.
Yeah,
it really does.
When you beat the crap out of the small teams, like when you get into the hundreds in college, like that's a good feeling.
Yeah, beating the teams you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
College Basketball Analytics put out one of those x-y-axis graphs about shooting percentage and attempt rate, and State is by themselves in the top right of that graph with almost 50% attempt rate and nearly 45% make rate. And there's nobody even near us.
I think the commentator was trying to explain that during the broadcast and kept biffing it up so much. I'm sure we're going to come back to reality pretty fast, right?
Well, I mean, as the competition gets better.
Yeah.
Certainly.
Yeah. I mean, you got Seton Hall next. Then you got Auburn, Asheville, Liberty, then Kansas. It's just, yeah. I mean, we'll know who we are in the next few weeks. But it's just, I guess my favorite part so far this season is it doesn't feel like we've made any net rankings mistakes with who we're playing.
Right.
Right. Like this is kind of what I would want to see. I'd actually, I'd love to see it even cranked up even a little higher. But it feels like it's actually worth watching. Like that VCU game was really fun. I actually left watching that game, and I told my wife, I was like, we got to go down to VCU this year and watch this, because I was like, that team looks like they'll be just as much fun.
They did look pretty good.
Yeah.
Just everything about it, man. I've been really enjoying it, and it's such a nice refresher after dealing with this football season where you're just like expecting and
Man, now I know how UNC football fans have felt all these years.
right.
Just wait
Right.
till basketball starts. Never knew how good that was.
Here's an interesting. Somebody, Nate in the podcast, keeps putting out the weekly stats of NC State people who transferred out. Who do you think is basically the top player that left last year statistically?
I remember looking at it, and I guess I wasn't surprised. Honestly, I don't know. I don't care.
The secret weapon, Mike James, Ishmael Doof,
No.
whatever his name is.
Who was it?
Dennis
Wasn't it-
Parker Jr.
Yeah,
He's the
Parker,
one that like I was a big fan of Dennis Parker Jr. I really liked. He needed more coaching, but I thought he had all the tools, and he's putting up points and rebounds. Yeah, 2 weeks this season, 17 points, averaging 5 rebounds a game. Nobody else is even close to double digits. Trey Parker, Bryce Hurd, Marcus Hill.
This is like when I go and check in on Anthony Smith. Like, what am I doing to myself? I'm just hurting my feelings when I see that Ant Smith has caught at least 44 passes. Apparently, those hands do work.
Yeah. Did you see Kevin Keats wearing the green tie when he was doing the halftime of the UAB game for us?
I didn't see it. Odd choice.
100% intentional.
Oh, sure. But you know what? Take your money, take your ACC championship, take your Final Four, and go get another job, my friend. Live on.
Yeah.
You'll be fine. It's a learning experience. You can definitely say that you got screwed because you didn't have the NIL, yada, yada, yada. I wish him nothing but the best, to be honest. But that was
of
an
all the
odd
guys,
choice.
of all the guys to have to listen to talk, he is not one I would have chosen for the announce, like being a color commentator.
Oh man, he's got the energy, man. He's a motivator.
Oh my god. And his comment about we got to consider Gonzaga a high major program now. I'm like, yeah, thanks, Kevin.
I didn't actually listen to it. Did he do his little "Hey, I've been doing my Kevin Keats on the road" thing? Where
I have no idea. I tried to block him out.
You didn't see? Someone kept posting those things in the chat.
Oh, I saw it. Yeah. Like his little. There's no way he's writing those things. Yeah, his observations that he has no chance he's.
Hey, ChatGPT, write this for me.
Yeah.
Hey, Gemini.
Mac asked, "If we still UNC Thunder next year by being the game everyone is going to care about more than Dublin?" I guess they're going to Dublin next year. I forgot about that.
Are they? Oh, actually, now it totally makes sense why we're doing this. For sure. Yeah. Who cares? Honestly, every time someone's gone and played that Dublin game, I feel like that game sucks every year, right? Like it's just it's wet
And the
turf.
they always lose coming back too.
Oh yeah, so it's like that's a double whammy. I'm sure. It'll be tough because it'll be house divided here with UVA being the opponent. But honestly, I think we should all go. We should go.
This might be my favorite question of all time. We're going to end on this one too.
Okay.
Is there any level of poon good enough to make you attend an adult cheerleading competition?
Oh my God. I was literally going to bring up that he went to this. God.
Dude.
I just was surprised that there are adult cheerleading competitions, to be honest.
That's the first one. And dude, in the video that came out today of the cheerleading competition.
Oh, I didn't see that. I don't. God.
Oh my God.
Man. Has anyone ever just like nuked their legacy faster than him?
Dude. She must suck
I'm
like
sure
a Dyson. It's all I can say.
I'm sure it's worth it.
It must be unbelievable. That's the only way we can think about it. I just seeing him sitting back there, like that's something you do with your kids, right? my buddy's like, well, we play an adult basketball league. I was like, yeah, but my wife is not coming to watch. She doesn't care.
Yeah, we used to have some of the wags that would come to our soccer games. So I mean, I get it. You know, you want to go and support the team. It's just
Oh my
it's
God.
the cheerleading aspect. And the two photos I saw from it, I was just like, man, that looks God, he must want to shoot himself. But
Dude, she looks psycho. Psycho.
you know, maybe I don't know. I'm sure it's gonna be great. I'm sure they're gonna. Well, they're probably not gonna have kids together, but um, wow. I just honestly, I could not have asked for a better outcome to him being the head coach there. I was so worried at first. Um, I saw. I just wish we could get the Hulu documentary. I
Oh
wish
God.
just give me
Yes.
those 4 episodes that they had in the can. Um, I'm sure it's incredible. I guarantee you this: if Hulu would just release it, you could don't even edit it. Just release it. You'll get so many views from state fans that hate UNC. It'll be like the most streamed thing for the entire summer.
Dude, seriously.
It'll be like the K-pop Demon Hunters of documentaries.
It'd be so good. So good. I'm trying to see if I can share this picture.
What is it? The video of it?
No, let me see if I can share this. Oh, I can't. I gotta do system settings. Maybe I can. Hang on.
We're talking about pictures on an audio
I can't.
format. You're killing me.
We're live streamed. People
I
can see it.
know, but
I was gonna
90% of
share.
when Boo Corrigan is listening to this, he is not watching the live stream.
He might be.
You
He
know?
and Matt go watching it. But somebody put on Twitter, becoming a member of an adult co-ed cheerleading team needs to be the number one punishment for finishing last in your fantasy football team next season.
What's your experience? Well, I went 0-12 in my fantasy league or whatever. Oh my god, that's
Dude, the
brutal.
memes that have come out have been just so good. I've just been
What I
posting
want
them
to
a
know
bunch.
is how many other of these have occurred and we just didn't get the photos. We didn't know it was happening.
I
Like,
don't know, man.
is this his first one or is this his like 10th one? You know, is this
I'm gonna text you this picture.
was he too busy at that instead of looking for all the speeding tickets that his kids were accumulating? Like,
Yeah.
kudos to
ours are doing no better.
Yeah, well, we only had like 10 speeding. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the picture I saw today, and
Look, picture
I
her in the
remember-
background.
yeah, I just remember thinking to myself, how old are the dudes back there? Like, good lord, how could you be this hardcore about cheerleading? Oh my god.
AJ Richardson listed as questionable for our game against Florida State.
Well, that's new.
I thought it was his knee.
Well,
done.
I don't know if we knew what it was, but it looked like it was non-contact in that UVA game, right? It was at the very end. Well, I think it was the last play. Great, man. We need as many players as we can get back. I don't care. Any extra defenders would be wonderful. Oh my God.
Oh.
Here we said that we had nothing to talk about, that we were going to breeze through football. We were just going to talk about basketball, and it's an hour and 8 minutes later. Thanks a lot.
Well, I mean, we can talk. I just
no.
didn't have anything organized. Probably better off that way.
No.
Yeah. Anyway, pack is football Friday, basketball next week, Monday in Maui. Yeah. Coaching football cycles can be interesting.
Yeah.
What if, here's an interesting one. What if DeBoer goes to Penn State? I heard somebody on, was it Sports Illustrated or one of the other pods was like, what if he goes to Penn State?
Do you think Penn State's going to do that after you just got rid of Frank? Like, he doesn't have. I mean, his output at Alabama, I feel like would scare off Penn State. Like, why do you lucked out and got that reduced buyout? But like, wouldn't you want Kiffin?
Kiffin's not going to fit at Penn State, but that's my point. If DeBoer goes to Penn State, which I could see the fit being there, and Lane goes to Alabama, and Florida and LSU are just like, oh my God, who do we get? Yeah, this coaching cycle is
Oh,
wild.
that's what they're going to do. They're going to get Brian Kelly.
Who? Penn State?
Penn State. I can see it
No,
happening.
no,
Oh yeah, they're like, you were so successful at Notre Dame. I feel bad. My guys, I have a bunch of friends that went to Penn State, and it's awesome up there, and they deserve so much better than what they've gotten. Like that program is awesome. I wish
Franklin's
that
not been
program.
bad.
No, I know,
He
I
was
know.
not
But
bad. He just couldn't get over the Ohio State hump, which not many people can do.
that's what I'm saying. But like that environment is awesome. Like they're diehards. You wish I don't know. In a perfect world, Penn State would break out and come join the ACC, and
Shit.
Oh, I would love I feel like they would be a perfect fit here. Like,
Yeah, that never gonna happen.
oh sure. I mean, as soon as this as soon as this pension fund private capital deal blows up somehow in a few years, I'm sure it'll work
I just
out.
want Dan Mullen. Somebody get me Dan Mullen.
You remember
Make
when
that
you wanted what's his name at Florida right now?
Napier got
Napier.
fired.
No,
I mean-
I know, but remember, I mean, you were like hot to trot for Napier. Like, we're gonna keep Dave. We're gonna miss out on Napier.
I like Napier. I still do. But his offensive was. I mean, he can recruit, and that's true. Like Florida's not bad, but he is quite literally the slowest paced offense in the NCAA. And I'm like,
Probably just behind us.
just in front of us. Or just behind us. Yeah.
He's propping us up to make sure we're not last.
But the guy can still recruit, and he knows how to build a roster. I think Florida's defense is legit.
That reminds me. Does anyone know what happened to our Ballers Equals You? What was his name? Drew Hughes. We got to track that guy down. We need that guy to come back and get talent for us. I remember at one point he was at Tennessee, maybe.
I thought he was at Ole Miss now. South Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah, he was at Tennessee. He's at South Carolina.
Yeah.
He might be looking for a job soon too if Beamer gets fired.
Bring him back.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. We need some talent. But anyway, as always, thanks for listening. We'll be back at some point. Will's gonna have to drag me out of hiding to talk about.
It's great. We're
football.
gonna turn into the 90% basketball pod, 5%. Oh, here's what happened, and then 5% us bitching about NIL. It'll be great.
I'm not bitching about NIL. Somebody else can.
Yeah, we're too needy, according to you and Boo.
I didn't tell you I got my first hole in one.
Yes, you put it in the chat, and I was gonna say, we'll talk on the pod
yeah.
about this, and the pod never happened.
Yeah.
My favorite part was you said didn't you guys just quit after that, anyways?
No, I was trying to quit. We just made birdie on 10, and somebody's like, well, you're 6 back of the group in front of you. We were playing our Friday bet. I said, well, hell, we better make this and go in, because that's always been the deal. Like, you make it and you leave.
Yeah.
Like, you go to the bar. And I made it, and I was like, let's go. And then the old guy, somebody was playing some old guys playing with a different group, and they're like, no, we got to keep playing. I was like, oh, God. Then I had to go to a Cub Scouts camp out that night. It was great.
That's the penance you pay for greatness. Now, I have to ask, was it better than all of the ones on the simulator?
Yeah, it was very similar, though. I hit it, and I was like, ooh, that might go in. And it went, boop, one hop, and dunked.
Oh, my God.
And I was like, this is great. First one.
Yeah. Well, congratulations, man.
Thanks.
You deserve it. The amount of literal strokes you have accumulated over life. It's a shock it's taken this long, to be honest.
I did a lot of golf balls, and none of them had gone in until that one. Yeah.
That's crazy, man. That's still I just love the fact that my stepbrothers got one, and I wasn't there for it. My dad said it never went more than a foot above the ground, and it just worm burned its way and went in, and he felt like it was the most insulting thing ever as a golfer. And I was like, who cares, man? It's in.
Yeah, this guy at my club was telling me, he's like, oh, hey, congratulations. I remember my first one and my second one. He said my third and fourth ones were kind of flukes. And then, fifth one was hit okay. And then sixth and seventh were terrible. It's like, F off, man. And it's always the guys who like skank them, just dinking and dunking.
I was about to say, are you teeing off from the fairway, buddy? Like,
yeah. I was like, yeah. I was a big State fan, but I was just like, F you.
Yeah.
But
yeah. I
right.
play for
Anyway.
the ladies, Steve.
It counts. It counts.
It doesn't matter. It's in.
Yeah. Anything else?
Nah, man. I'm good.
I need a new show. Somebody give me a good show recommendation.
I just gave you one. Physical Asia. You're welcome.
Doesn't sound like something I was gonna like, but
It's completely dumb. I'll send you a couple. Actually, we've been burning through quite a few now that the baby's giving us extra sleep time. We can finally watch shows again.
Yeah, we started The Diplomat, and that's all right. Not bad.
Did you ever do The Americans?
Oh yeah, great.
Okay.
Yeah, so good. That was a great show. Yeah, but like everything has been like one season or 1.5 seasons.
Yeah,
and you just burn through them, and you're like, well, where's the next one? And then Netflix doesn't renew them or something. I'm just like,
oh yeah,
come on.
Yeah,
Frustrating. But yeah, send some show recs to us if you've made it this far. As always, thanks for listening.
yeah.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for supporting the pod. Enjoy your weekend. Go Pack.
Go Pack. Enjoy the lack of sound. Oh, you surprised me.
Got him.
Enjoy streaming this for the 8 minutes it's up on Spotify.